All right, what is up, sport fans? Welcome back to another episode of The Fan in the End. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rychel. And as always, my partner in crime, my right-hand man, Mr. Ben Troupe, is here with us this morning. And we got a whole lot of fun stuff to talk about today. Lots of stuff going on in the sports world, lots of stuff going on around in the NFL. We're gonna break it all down for you guys, and we already got some shenanigans going in the chat. The Cyber-Rooskies in there with us, and yeah, we got the dog check going on right here. We got the big dog right next to me right now, my friend.
Yes,
we're gonna have some fun today. Now, let's get into it. I want to kick things off. We were talking about basketball a few weeks ago, and it's we into the nitty-gritty part of it right now as the NBA Finals are here. I asked for the Indiana Pacers. The New York Knickerbockers were nice enough to lay down and give the Indiana Pacers a second chance to win their first NBA championship. And on the other side of that, Minnesota kind of fell flat a little bit there, and the Oklahoma City Thunder is now in their first NBA Finals. A lot of people want to include the Seattle Supersonics trip and win in the late 70s there. I do not. It's a new town, a new city, a new team, and we're going to be crowning a new king this offseason. Mm-hmm. How excited are you this one, man? You know, this is 4 years in a row. No LeBron James, no Steph Curry. We are having an opportunity. I mean, me and you, we've been hard on the NBA. Let's be honest, we've been hard on the NBA. This is if you're asking me from the outside looking in, because I've already seen idiots on social media, this has to be the worst NBA Finals ever. They didn't even tip off yet. How's it the worst NBA Finals ever?
Yeah.
Like, you know, Tyrese Halliburton's gonna have a chance to make his mark and say, you know, hey, I'm the new king here in the East. Mm-hmm. You know, and Oklahoma City Thunder. I seen this one and I absolutely love it. I love it. I'm hard on my Sixers, but the Oklahoma City Thunder has now perfected the process. If you want to say the process, that's the Oklahoma City Thunder. It has nothing to do with my Philadelphia 76ers. Right. The Oklahoma City Thunder has perfected the art of the process.
I am excited for these reasons. Number one, OKC and and obviously Indiana aren't big market cities. They aren't big market teams. But when you start talking about ushering out the old and into the new, you have to do it like this. It can't be Ant-Man is one of the faces of the NBA, but he ain't in the finals. SGA, number one, he's in the finals and he just won the MVP. I don't know why if Trey Burton ain't a superstar, I don't know what they look like then. If he's not one, I don't know. Because what they do is now, Stephen, is they compare yesterday's superstar to today. No. You're gonna have it's gonna number one. The only time you mention the Pacers, people gonna mention two people. They're gonna mention Paul George, and they're gonna mention Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller has been doing the sportscasting, and I like it because people saying this to work. We're gonna watch because we like basketball, because we like the NBA. Yes, it will be great to have a Boston. It will be great to have Jokic and them who's already done it, or Milwaukee who's already done it, or the Lakers. Well, guess what? All those teams I just mentioned got put out by either a team that's still in it or a team that got put out by the team that's still in it. No, SGA is the guy that was up for the MVP a couple of years ago. He didn't win it. From Canada, and I will say this. OKC does not have a big three. They got a big two. They don't got a big three. But if you are Kevin Durant, who's been very, very complimentary, if you are Russell Westbrook, I ain't really heard him say a lot of James Harden. OKC being an expansion team, they're not that expansion now. They've never had down years. When they went from Seattle to OKC, people was like, what are they doing? Those fans only know winning. Now, can you seal the deal? Because let me tell you what the Pacers are to me. The Pacers to me are the old, they ain't the same persona. They like the bad boy Detroit Pistons. People don't like them. The Pacers, where they come from? Right? No more, not the days of Reggie Miller or Paul George or Roy Hibbert and all these guys. No. Trey Burton is saying, look, in order to gain respect nationally, you got to make the playoffs. In order to gain respect around the world, you got to win championships. That's what make people watch is when you win it all. The NBA championship, rather people like it or not, man, you world champs. You are. And I know Noah Lyles, the 100-meter champion, say world champions of what? Of basketball. So I'm looking forward to it, Stephen, because I think it's going to be great basketball. When you look at how both teams, because both teams can get up and down the court, both teams can shoot the three, both teams got superstar guards, even though SGA is the because here's the thing, right? Can Trey Burton do his best, Jalen Hurts, and say, oh, I know him over there. I know SGA, he got the MVP of the league. I'm trying to get MVP of the finals. See, that's the thing about this part, and I don't know what's going to happen, but when people say it's going to be boring, I don't think it's going to be boring, and I hope it goes 7. I really, really hope, because Game 7 means, all right, everybody's nervous. It really doesn't matter. I don't think it's going to be no sweeps. I think this Indiana Pacers team, because in the East this year, it was all about Cleveland. Look at what Cleveland's doing. Oh, look at Cleveland. Everybody but Indiana. Then Stu guys got mad when the Pacers beat New York, saying Reggie Miller is only good because when he played the Knicks. Stop, Stu guys. Love you, man. But come on now. Reggie Miller is only good because when he played the Knicks, even though he do got a Netflix special called Winning Time, I get it. For the NBA, you need small market teams like this to be in the national spotlight, because it kind of evens the NBA out to me. Because look, the Lakers, I know they're talking some trades about Rudy Gobert. I don't know if that's gonna happen or whatever. The New York Knicks had their window, and they just fired Tom Thibodeau. God, it's like if you are the
I want to talk to you about that. You just brought it up. The Indiana Pacers fired 3 coaches. They fired 3 coaches this NBA playoffs. Listen, if you're a Pacers fan, how do you not be happier about that? You knocked out 3 head coaches in a month's time. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Me either. And it doesn't. The Pacers are the new nightmare in the NBA. You better leave them alone. They can. I'm gonna say this when it comes to what's going on with these finals and these 2 teams. If you are a avid NBA watcher, you know both of these teams. If you're a casual, which is most people, you're gonna get to know them. Hey man, somebody go, hey man, I typed in the NBA Final 2025. It got the Pacers and the Thunder. Yeah, that's who made it. Yeah, for real. Yeah, and the Thunder got the MVP. Really? It's like if you are Adam Silver, you're saying, look, we want parity. LeBron gone, Steph gone, Luka Doncic gone, Giannis gone. All these faces gone. Why? Because if you're coming through the East, I don't care about Cleveland. And Milwaukee right now is dealing with the fact that Giannis might be trying to seek, a new address, a new environment, which is going to be weird if that does happen. In order to make a name for yourself in the National Basketball Association, people, you got to play when everybody watches. What do everybody watch? The finals. Because ain't nothing else on. Right? You ain't battling. Sorry, WNBA. We respect y'all, but y'all ain't the finals in the NBA, right? Sorry, NASCAR, and I don't even know if they're doing horse racing. And I know they got the softball women's championship coming up and the NCAA men's baseball championship coming up. That's cool. And baseball plays for like 30. They play every day. Once they start playing, you forget they on TV. Baseball got so many games. But I'm looking forward to it, Stephen, because like I said, if you are the Pacers, listen. When Jason Tatum goes down, you knew the Celtics were done, and the Knicks fans were talking all that trash, and they was like, "Dude, this is gonna be our year." No, it's not. If you want to talk about the process, and I really, really don't think that OKC should have done that, but it shows how much they respect the process. It shows how much they respect what the 76ers was looking to do, and it's hard to do. They respect it. If you are the Knicks, you saying to yourself, what window? The best coach y'all done had in a while got rid of him. And y'all beat a team that didn't have Jason Tatum. So y'all was like, I know we're gonna beat the Pacers. No, send them home. Go to the house. Hey, NBA Finals, let's do it. Let's let no names become household names. Let's let household names become super duper stars. And to everybody who said that Trey Burton was not, Hal Burton was not a superstar, then what is? I want to know who is. So basically, superstars don't make the finals, and stars make the finals. Okay, cool.
Now I came across this one, right? Allen Iverson's in his debut, 48 points. No one's ever, for his NBA Finals debut. You say Halliburton and that young man over there in Oklahoma City. You think either one of them breaks Allen's debut record there?
I think SGA can. I think SGA can. I mean, Halliburton. I don't think he's gonna shoot. The difference in Halliburton and SGA is this. Halliburton, I think, is a little bit more efficient in his shot taking. SGA don't care. SGA will put he'll SGA has a lot of James Harden in it. Meaning I care about getting buckets. I don't care about how many shots to take. I want if SGA has 48 points, we talking about 40 shots. He done put up 40-something shots. But think about this though, Steven. I'd rather SGA go after it because he goes, look, man, I ain't with that we'll be back stuff. I ain't with that. Because they said I would be back at the MVP the voting, and I was, but look at what all I got to do to win it. So I think SGA has a shot to do it. And shout out to AI, man. I'm gonna say this. People always talk about the GOAT conversation, and I get it. They always talking about Kobe. I mean, they talking about LeBron, they talking about Mike. No one ever talk about Kareem, who I think is the GOAT. The pound for pound greatest NBA player, pound for pound, is AI. Pound for pound, he is the greatest.
Here's the thing: if AI had at least one superstar with him during his run, he was here in Philadelphia, they would have won at least one.
He needed just one, and I would prefer for him to have a big man like Shaq. It ain't gonna be Shaq.
I mean, the only thing they gave him a broken down Derek Coleman, who was literally on his last leg.
Eric Snow. Listen, what AI did.
They gave him a 6-man. I'm sorry. We had Aaron McKay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but then he had to go to the finals, and he met Kobe. He met Shaq. I mean,
after winning that game too, if he didn't do what he did in game 2, I think there might have been a different way that series played out. But
it could have.
He did it in an Allen way, and it done upset the big man. It done upset the Mamba man that down there in LA, and we didn't see the light of day the next.
Yeah. Once he woke up that monster in the middle. Well.
Once he did the step over on Tyronn Lue, it kind of cemented what was going to happen the next.
Oh yeah. It's one of those. Tyronn Lue had Kobe, and Kobe takes everything personal, from teammates, coaches, fans, the parking attendant, anybody. And as great, listen, obviously that was Shaq. That was prime Shaq.
Yeah,
that was. But it shows how great of a player. Because not only did AI go to the finals, he MVP of the league. He was MVP of the freaking league. AI, 6 feet tall, probably 160 pounds, soaking wet. Hey man, we don't appreciate. Not saying now Philly fans do, but as fans, we don't appreciate the impact. excuse me, and influence of AI. He was. I mean, when he walk in the arena, you go, this dude right here, yeah. He's gonna be the best player on the court. Him, yeah. Ain't no way. They'll be like, watch, just let him tip it off. Listen, more men, regardless of race, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, had cornrows in their head because they wanted to be AI. I mean, you did.
You ain't wrong, bro.
Wrong. I'm AI. I'm AI. So shout out to AI. And listen, shout out to AI. I think he just became the vice president of Reebok, if I'm not mistaken, him and Shaq trying to do something. So shout out to that man.
Yeah, I mean, well, they were like the only holdout Reebok athletes from that era. They Shaq made it a purpose. Like he was not going to go. Like Nike had Michael, and he wasn't just going to sign up with Nike just because Michael was there. He wanted to do it on his own.
I respect
it. And and then Allen Iverson came in and did his thing, and they were the kings of Reebok. Hell, they both were smart enough, and they still getting paychecks to this day.
Yeah, Yeah.
So it's like it's like one of these things. Like you have to appreciate what those guys did in that aspect of it. I want to switch gears here right now. Some surprise retirements came down last few days. Did you see what was going on down there in Detroit, man? They just lost.
Man.
They just lost the anchor to their offensive line. I was talking about it last night with Scott and in the crew over there at inside the pigskin last night. But losing your center this kind of late into the off-season game, I think Detroit might have some problems right now.
Oh, they got some huge problems. I mean, Frank Ragnow, he is the anchor of that offensive line. He's the smartest on that offensive line, and he made everything go. I mean, he's going to affect so much. I mean, that two-headed monster at the running game. You talk about Jared Goff not having to worry about interior pressure coming right at him. You talk about being able to get the calls, just keeping everything cool, calm, collected on no line. I mean, these players are starting to trend now to not want to play as long. You know, the Aaron Donalds, the Patrick Willises, the Luke Kuechlys, they're not playing for 10 and 15 years no more. They're saying, look, man, I've given all I can give it, and I'm going to just move on right now while I still have my health. I still have my strength. I've made some good money. I'm leaving with a legacy. But you talk about seeing shockwave. We think the shockwaves is going to be when Andrew Luck decided to retire in that preseason. People are like, Andrew Luck.
Well, I mean, he was taking a beating. There was a difference.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck was taking a beating. He was injury riddled, but the language in that his retirement sounded like he was having doubts about I don't think it was his physical well-being, just the fact to being able to give the lines 100% of him, mind, body, and soul. And I think it's more of a mind than body and soul, in my opinion.
I agree. And give a lot of credit to Coach Dan Campbell too. He has instilled something in those players that they don't want to let him down. Like, look, man, if I can't do it the way I've been doing it, or even look how I've looked, I don't want to, with what they're building in Detroit, I don't want to be the weak link. I don't want to be the guy that we almost got there if the center position could have played, but because people don't understand, people only notice a center when things go bad. Like when things really start going bad, fumble snaps. I mean, we talk about like illegal form, the different things going on with the running backs not getting the calls. I remember the moment when obviously that viral moment when Jeff Saturday Payton to switch the play, Jeff Saturday switch it back. Payton to switch it back, Jeff Saturday, and then they go time out. Hey, just block. It's like, hey, bro, I don't know what you looking at, but no, stop switching. I'm a switch. It's like center quarterback relationships are some of the most precious relationships. It's like a point guard, and a center. It's like a coach and a quarterback. But Frank Ragnow, I respect his timing though, because he waited. He probably gave it. He said, "Look, I'm gonna give it as much time as I possibly can. I'm gonna go through the draft. I'm gonna go through the offseason. But once we start getting back in the offseason, OTAs, mini camps, if it ain't and for those who don't understand the mental health aspect of things, I didn't understand mental health when I was in the NFL. I understand it now, and I respect any player, person, individual who puts their mental health over anything else, because physically, we can use rehab to get back. Mentally, we talking about therapy. We talking about all type of holistic type things you want to use. So Frank, hey man, I respect it. And whatever regret Frank may have, it's still for the right reasons. Because you're gonna have doubts. When people say, do people have doubts when you retire? Absolutely. Should I have stayed? Did he leave Detroit better than he found it? Absolutely. He left it better than he found it. And so, yeah, man, I'm pretty sure he told Dan Campbell first. And then Dan said, I mean, is this what you want to do? Not to talk him out of it, just to make sure you good. And, hey, man, you wish him the best. Because like I said, when we live in a time now, Steven, to where we're talking about the Detroit Lions being one of the best teams in the NFL, one of the best teams in the NFC. What? We have lived long enough to see that. Barry Sanders is going, what the hell was a Frank Ragnow? I needed a Frank Ragnow. I needed everything. I needed everything. But no, man, congratulations in retirement. And man, whatever you need to do for you, your mind, body, and soul, man, get it done, man. But yeah, when it happened, I'm refreshing ESPN. I'm like, is this real? Wow. And you know you're a great player when you're not even a premier position player. And when you retire, you know, people like, hey man, listen, it ain't Jason Kelce, but it ain't far off. It ain't many people like Jason Kelce now.
Yeah.
But for what he means to Detroit, oh yeah, it's Jason Kelce. For what he means to Detroit, or what he meant to Detroit, should I say.
And the other retire, I mean, obviously we knew BG was going to retire. It became official this week. But one that kind of was surprising to me was Mr. Ronald Darby, also hanging it up, Super Bowl champion here in Philadelphia. You know, we were talking about the cornerbacks before we came on air about Dion and Mr. Pick Six himself, Asante Samuel, kind of clearing the air, but Ronald Darby retiring is another shocking move, head scratching move, I guess. The Jaguars are going to have to find another cornerback there, and we'll see what's going. I know Jalen Ramsey's name's been getting thrown around for trade movers. Do you think he gets sent back to Jacksonville?
It's a possibility. I think the reason, and congratulations, Ronald Darby too. Ended up, Florida State guy, had a nice career. Ended up, winning. Listen, the first Super Bowl with the Eagles. Now, if you play for the Eagles defense, you got to play for Georgia or Alabama. But the first time, you had to play for Florida State. It was littered with Florida State guys. Florida State this, Florida State that. I was like, I already got. So congratulations to that man walking away a Super Bowl champ. But I think Jalen Ramsey could end up back in Jacksonville. I don't think he ever wanted to leave Jacksonville. I think he forced his way out. I don't think he had a good relationship with Tom Coughlin. I don't think it was the head coach at the time. I don't even think it was the defense. I mean, they had Calais Campbell. Man, they had some players the first time Jalen Ramsey was there. But Jalen Ramsey was like, dude, y'all treat me like I'm just another dude. Like I'm not one of the premier cornerbacks, like a potential, future Hall of Famer, depending on how things end up. Yeah, Travis Hunter is going to make two things going to make you want to play. Three things going to make you want to play for Jacksonville. AFC South, got a chance to win it. Travis Hunter, he's going to make you want to play with him. And you win freaking Florida, even though he's in Miami State. No state tax. Hey, I can deal with that. I can deal with my check having a little more zeros on it because I don't got to deal with state tax. But, yeah, if Jalen Ramsey does indeed end up back with Jacksonville, he'll get to right some wrongs because no one said this, but you want to finish with the team, or you at least want to have a nice tenure with the team that drafted you, because that's the one that believed in you first. Drafted. I mean, I think Jalen Ramsey was the 5th overall pick out of Florida State. If he ends up back in Jacksonville, no one's ever gonna say, "Hey man, we finna add Jalen Ramsey to our defense." Okay, I'll take that. And listen, he makes any secondary better. Anyone. I just think Jacksonville is the type of team. Liam Cohen, head coach, Tony Baselli's in the front office.
We just had Marcus Pollard on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Marcus Pollard, player personnel guy, director of youth football. Yeah, man, they got some things clicking in Jacksonville. The thing about Jalen Ramsey is that number. It's not that you don't want him. How much do you got to pay him? He ain't gonna make as much as he's made, but he ain't finna take no discount. I bet you, like, look,
I think that's the only way that Miami is able to move him is if he kind of does a restructure to kind of make it happen. Yeah. I don't think Jacksonville's cap strap, but I don't think you're going to be able to take on, $20+ million a year without some type of incentives to kind of move things around. Yeah. And then also have to give up either draft capital or a player. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, could a potential Travis Etienne? Could you? Because I know. Because you're going to have to give a good – and when we say a player, we talking about a good player, not just a player. Miami's like, hey, if we going to let him go this way, Mike McDaniel, like, I could use a running back that's still under his rookie deal that still trying to make his money. I could take a Travis Etienne or a Jalen. No, Jalen Ramsey, but we going to still want some picks too. You know what I'm saying? We some picks in a player. Who knows? We could be breaking news on here. Adam Schefter, hey, if that happens, just credit the fan in the end. Myself and Steven, we're helping you guys' job a little easy out there.
Now, I got a few more things to make you laugh. I came across this one, and it was a knee slapper for me. So obviously, we love making fun of the Dallas Cowboys on here. Now, Coach came out this week and they were asking about Dak Prescott, and he's like that he thinks Dak is in the developmental stage. Excuse me, how long has he been in the league?
Yeah, like what?
How long has he been in the league? We're talking about Dak Prescott is in the developmental phase. What? What is Coach Schottenheimer saying?
So once again, when people kept saying, "Hey man, why would Jerry Jones hire Brian Schottenheimer? Because he can be his voice. He can say things that Jerry Jones can say, man, just go out there and say this. Like, you want me to say it? Let me get this straight. Dak Prescott was going like year like 8, 9. He's in developmental stage. What stage is that exactly? Like what stage of a person's career is developmental in year 8, 9? No, Brian Schottenheimer, you were realizing real quick, man, people care about what you say because it's who you coach for. You just said. So Micah Parsons has already said this offseason, Jerry Jones is the best GM. That's nonsense. Then D-Law, DeMarcus Lawrence said when he went to Seattle, they're never going to win there. I've been there for 10 years. Never going to win there. Then Brian Schottenheimer, who was on one team's head coaching list, just one. No one else had Brian Schottenheimer as a potential coach. No one even knew Brian Schottenheimer wanted to be a head coach. Goes to Dallas, becomes the Dallas head coach. And then when you finally open up your mouth, you say this. See, so basically, Jerry said, "Hey man, my name is Jerry Jones. Welcome to the circus." What? Yeah, this is the circus over here. So we got to say stuff and do stuff to keep people entertained. We're not going to win the Super Bowl, so we got to do other stuff. Dak Prescott is in the developmental phase. And here's the thing, right? They're going to ask other players, "Hey, man, with Coach saying Dak being in the developmental stage, how you feel about that?" Who said that? Coach Schottenheimer. Coach Schottenheimer said it about that? Yeah. You're going to have to ask Brian. That's the crazy. You think George Pickens went over to Dallas for a developmental quarterback? You really, really think CeeDee Lamb want to hear about his quarterback being developmental? The offense? Micah Parsons, I know you heard this. What you got to say about it? Because you got a lot to say. So I want to hear, look, you just gave bulletin board material for the whole year. So whenever, when Dak starts dacking, because he's going to do some Dak stuff, like, 4th and 17, run out the pocket for like 13 yards, game's over, Dak. Let's spike it. No, you didn't get the first down. Anyway, Brian Schottenheimer, man, listen, loved your daddy, Marty. He coached a long time in the NFL. What? Developmental, if you said that about Anthony Richardson, get it. If you said that about, Jaden Daniels, if you said that about Jackson Dart or Cam Ward, I get it. A almost 10-year veteran quarterback that's on third contract, Brian, once again, I kept waiting. When is Brian Schottenheimer going to show me why he got hired? And there it is. He just showed it right there. Because like I said, my nephew is 6 and he wants to start playing football. He's in the developmental stage. No doubt about it. Dak Prescott is married, I think. I think he just had his first baby. I said his first son. Yeah, I said he's talking about his little baby. His little baby's in the developmental stage. He just came out of the womb. Anyway, Brian, hey man, this is why we laugh at Dallas. Because y'all do it to y'all. People say, y'all be hating on them. No, we don't. Look at Micah.
Y'all make stupid statements, but how can we not laugh at the idiots?
CeeDee Lamb ain't never been locked up. CeeDee, we watched the film, right? Just because you had a good year doesn't mean you had good games against everybody. You're talking about what you had in the totality of it. No, when we go against Philadelphia, turn that off. If CeeDee Lamb walked in his house and his lady was watching Dallas versus Eagles, he gonna say, "What you in here watching?" "Oh, I'm just watching." Turn it off. Why? Turn it off. But you said you never got locked up, and I haven't. Now turn it off. I'm just saying, man. Y'all are making it too easy. Brian Schottenheimer, you can say whatever you want. You're the head coach of Dallas. You're famous for who you do it for, not because of what you're doing. Definitely not for what you're saying. But hey, man, I want to see what Dak got to say. I want to see what Steve Lamb got to say, George Pickens got to say, Michael Parsons got to say, and what Dak got to say. Because Dak was like, I'm developmental. Yeah, who said that? Coach Brian Schottenheimer just said that. He said I was in the developmental. Wow. Okay.
We got another knee slapper coming at you here. Media personality Craig Carton was talking about Brock Purdy, and then basically said Brock Purdy does everything better than Jalen Hurts. Craig, I know you're like the king of the headlines because you just say these outlandish things. In what world does Brock Purdy does anything that much better that you say that there's Brock Purdy is better than Jalen Hurts at everything? Everything, really?
Once again, every week, come on here, we talk about why Jalen Hurts is and why the certain people in the media think he isn't. Okay. Have Jalen Hurts ever played against Brock Purdy? Yeah, what happened? Okay.
I think it's 1-on-1, right?
Well, here's the thing, though. Let's do this. Do you think if Jalen Hurts played for the San Francisco 49ers, he wouldn't be successful? Yep. What if Brock Purdy was with the Eagles? He would be successful. He wouldn't do what Jalen does. Not many people can do what Jalen does. And you know why? Once again, we know who Brock Purdy, and nothing against him. We know who he is because of where he got drafted and the team he was on. If we're ranking the best players in Philly, if we're ranking the best players from Philadelphia, top to bottom, right? I would say the best player for Philly easily is Saquon, right? Saquon is probably the best player. Number 2 is probably Jalen Carter. Number 3 is Jalen Hurts. It just depends on how you want to order them. Brock Purdy is nowhere in the top 5 of the best players on the team. He might be in the top 10. He might. People say, Ben, you don't know what you're talking about. You think you're better than Trent Williams? Nope. You think you're better than George Kittle? No. You think you're better than Christian McCaffrey? Nope. You think you're better than Fred Warner? Nope. What about when Brandon Ayuk is healthy? Nope. Think you're better than fullback for what he does? Nope. That's 6 players. That goes 6 players already, and I ain't even got the Brock. People, just come out and say I don't like Jalen. Just say I don't like him. Why? I don't really have a reason. I've made it up in my mind that he's not good, but he won't stop being good. How long has he been good? Since high school. That's why he went to Alabama. Then he went to Oklahoma. Now, when he got drafted in the second round, people thought that Carson Wentz was finna go that way because they got rid of Nick Foles so that Carson would stop doing what he was doing, whining. Nick Foles goes to Jacksonville. Now it's just your show, Carson. And we realized that Carson wasn't as good as we thought. Now, before he tore his ACL, he was looking MVP. But something about him getting hurt, I don't know what happened. I really don't.
Something happened in the universe that in the LA Coliseum that night. Because that changed his whole career trajectory. I don't think there's ever been a number 1 pick that has been on 5 different teams in 6 years before or after Carson Wentz, and I don't think there's going to be one anytime soon either.
No, it's not. And look, if Jalen Hurts is in the perfect situation on the perfect team, because if you haven't figured it out yet, certain people say we don't care what nobody thinks because that's what other people say. No, Philly doesn't care. Like they don't care. They got a song, an anthem called "We Don't Care." Jalen
No
Hurts,
one likes this. No one likes this.
And it's like, you know the thing about it is, Steven, when people don't know what to say about you, they have to make stuff up. Brock Purdy does everything better than Jalen Hurts. Like what? Well, just tell us what he does better. Does he win better? No, because that's what matters the most, right? Yeah, that's what matters the most, right?
He's got a better arm. Okay, really?
No, here's the thing. Who got a better?
Did y'all see the dagger in the Super Bowl? Because I'm pretty sure he threw a few daggers.
I say so. You got go there, and then you got George Kittle. Granted. C-Mac, Saquon. I mean, obviously Saquon is the man. C-Mac, when he's healthy, is very, very good. You got Ayuk, you got Ricky Pearsall. You know what I'm saying? You got a good receiver core. You got Devonta Smith, you got A.J. Brown. Here's the thought. Throughout the course of the 2024 season, people thought, hey, man, what's going on with the passing game or whatever? Jalen was like, oh, man, we'll get it going this way. You know who never really said anything? What? A.J. Brown. You know why? Because Jalen Hurts said, hey, boy, don't do that. Don't go to the media saying the wrong thing, right? Because you're gonna give them bulletin board material they don't need. Jalen said, "Do you want the ball or do you want to win? Do you want the ball or do you want to win a Super Bowl?" Yeah. Go read your book on the sideline, AJ. And he did. And he's a Super Bowl champ. Because at the end of the day, all the stats in the world is cool, but people are gonna say, "Well, what did you do with him?" I'm just telling y'all, Jalen Hurts has a shot to become the face of the league. And when he does, what's gonna be the narrative? Well, Josh Allen won the MVP. Well, Lamar Jackson won too. And see, when Jalen was second team All Pro, why he win the MVP? Because he's been second team All Pro. Oh, you gave it to Josh Allen. Got it. Well, I look at it like this. When they started talking about Super Bowl MVPs, Jalen Hurts gives an invite to that luncheon, to that dinner, to that black tie event. And guess what? If he can't be there, he can call Ron Jaworski. He can call, Donovan McNabb. I mean, he can call Michael Vick. I mean, he can call Randall. I mean, he can call Randall Cunningham. Hey, Randall, who is it? Jalen, listen, man, I can't be there. Could you go just in my place, man? You'll do that for me, Jalen? Of course, Randall. I love you, baby. All right, cool. I'm just telling y'all, man. Like Jalen Hurts don't feel. He applies pressure, and if he feels it, he don't show it. If that's what pressure look like, we all want to be under pressure because he don't show it. He's a Time Magazine top 100 people list or whatever. And Dominique Foxworth, you better be looking at ESPN.
Our third's here, my friend. Huh? We got a few minutes with Mr. Bratton.
What's up, fella? What's going on, man?
There he is. What's good? What's good, big time?
What's the deal, fella?
Just doing our thing, little BS, and getting ready to change gears here because we were just talking about Craig Carton. Craig Carton was going out there saying Brock Purdy's better than Jalen at everything. I'm like, here we go again with these media knuckles.
I mean, that's fine, man. That's fine. It's just weird the energy they give Jalen, and he seems like he doesn't care.
He don't.
No response is a response. By the way,
listen. Isn't it? It took us so long in life to realize. So you mean to tell me if I don't say nothing to old boy, he has to ponder what you thinking? If you don't say anything, he has to want. It's like, man, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that to you, and you go. And then someone says, "Hey, man, what did he do when you said something to him?" Dude, he ain't say nothing. What you mean?
He didn't say nothing.
Nothing.
He's
unbothered. He just looked at me and shook his head.
It hurts them when you don't say anything, or when you see these videos and people will go crazy. Oh, that couldn't be me. Like someone snapping on somebody, or we've been throwing a lot of the rants, the racist rants on videos, and people are like, that couldn't be me. I would punch him, and the dude getting yelled at and screamed on, just like, all right, cool, unbothered. That person who's raging just rages higher, higher, higher. It bothers them so much that that person is unbothered by their foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jalen is a champion, man. Like Jalen is a champion. Jalen does what he needs to do to win. If you don't like him, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? He's gotten us to two Super Bowls, and a Super Bowl ring. He's doing what he needs to do for Philly. Part of the new thing in media, new media, everybody has a platform. You can just hop on and start talking and maybe garner a following, and you have a platform. You don't have to do anything to get your platform. You know what else happens on those platforms? There are no checks and balances. There's no consequences when you say something absolutely like ridiculous. So continue to make hot takes and gather a following, and maybe you can monetize it. So I think it's funny listening to like his critics, like just it seems like every marginal quarterback they want, and I'm not calling Purdy marginal. Every quarterback they want to just be better than Jalen because he's so unbothered.
I still crack up when I see these lists, and then the one that gets me the most right now that I'm laughing at the most is how they're putting Jaden Daniels above Jalen, and Jaden's been in the league for 1 year. Like, how is he in the top 5? He's only been there 1 year.
It's like Luther just said. What certain people say, man, what do I got to say to get these clicks? You got to say something crazy. Crazy like what? Like, I don't know. Like Brock Purdy, man, is better than Jalen. Yeah, but how do I say it? That he's better than him in everything. You finna send that? Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
I'm gonna say it. And now everyone, the people that disagree with you, they're going to come at you hard, right? And that gives you clicks. That gives you more and more clicks, and you're like, ooh, now what am I gonna say on Friday? What am I gonna say on
Well,
Friday?
I mean, look, as a when I was in the league, I used to talk to guys, and I was that played for Philly, and they'll say, "Ben, this is what you don't understand about it as Philadelphia Eagles players, dude. We get the harshest criticism and feedback from Philadelphia Eagles
from our fans."
And he said, look, I don't know how it goes in Tennessee, or I don't know how it goes in Tampa or Oakland at the time. He goes, look, you're not walking the streets of Philly. A random person gonna be like, you see people just standing with their arms like, dude, what are y'all doing?
What are y'all doing? Can you catch?
Oh, here it is. He said, being where y'all from, they'll say, is that him? I think that's him. No, they don't do it's in the Philly. Deshaun, but LaShawn, Vic, Jalen, what? And it don't matter where you at, going into church, coming out of church, going to the hospital, coming out.
It don't matter.
Hey, listen. Hey, Jalen, yeah. What's up? Because the thing is, Philadelphia fans root for all Philadelphia teams. There is no who do I root for. The Sixers, right. The Phillies. Right. In other cities, I just root for the Giants. I don't root for the Knicks. And it's like I remember when Michael Vick said, dude, listen. He said, my wife, Philadelphia Eagles all day. When I told her, he said, listen, I am getting out of jail. And I'm telling her, hey, I think I got a shot to go to Philly. She said, great. She said, what do you know? What do you mean? Like they're going to celebrate you. But they honest. They fair. I look at this is the Philadelphia Eagle fans. Y'all are fair, but y'all are firm. Y'all very fair now, but y'all don't sugarcoat it. Y'all
AJ said it best. Like he what he loves about the city is that like we hold our athletes accountable to a certain level. You know, we're booing you when you're having a bad game, but no one cheers harder and louder for you when you're playing above and beyond.
Right, and the crazy thing is, the Eagles can be 1-12. We could have 8 feet of snow outside. That stadium is going to be packed. Now you're going to have a consistent amount of booing going on, but they're not staying home. Now I remember coming back here. I had gotten cut, and I had moved back to North Carolina. I was across the border, and the Panthers were good. They were the 1 seed in the playoffs. We played. That's the game where Jake Delhomme threw like 700 interceptions against the Cardinals. Right? There was a playoff game, a home playoff game as the 1 seed. It rained a little bit that day. It was drizzling at game time. That stadium was like half full. They've gotten better here, but that stadium was half full. And I remember leaving Philly, bro. We stunk. It was, I think, Donovan's first year. Was it 2000? One of those years. We weren't that good. End of the season, snowy. We were bad. You had to leave hella early to get to the stadium, but still tailgating, still packed, with no playoffs in sight. It's a different city, man. It's different, and I love it. I love it. I mean, I wasn't some starter. I've been told I suck 1,000 times. It is what it is, but they're gonna you get your little one big first down on a game-winning drive, and you're the man after that.
That's all it takes is one big catch at the right moment to keep a drive going or whatever. You don't even need to be the reason that we put it in the end zone. You just need to be the reason the drive stayed alive, and they won't ever forget that catch, man.
Right.
Yeah, but it takes another player or a fan to say, hey, dude, like you just ask a random fan, why would you say somebody suck? They'll say, because I believed in you. They'll tell you, because I believed in you. What do you mean? Most players, fans only root for them because of the colors and the team and the loyalty. There are certain players, whether we know it or not. A coach said something to me, Luther, that I believe. He said, dude, you up on somebody's wall. Somebody got your picture up on their wall. You don't know them until you disappoint them. You disappoint them.
Until you disappoint
them. Dude. And we don't know. We look at, we get the names, the big names, the Donovan McNabbs, the Michael Vick. Those are the faces and names of not just their teams, but the league. But they come to the stadium and say, hey, man, listen, I love Luther. What you mean? I remember him. Like, you don't know. I remember Luther.
You don't know that.
And then all of a sudden you do something or you don't do something and they get pissed. And the thing is, you go and somebody told me, dude, you ain't arrived until somebody told you sucked. From your fan base, you suck. Because you go, what? Because in your mind, you going, dang, dude, like they ain't never said to me before. And they say it in the stadium, they wait for the stadium to get like kind of quiet. They stand up and say, hey, they're gonna say your name, being true.
Your name loud. and all you could do is this, like
so sometimes terms of endearment don't always come in a complimentary way. You know, sometimes the fans, because nobody invests more than the players, but certain fans go, dude, we're living. And like, if the fans in Philly
breathing,
it's gonna be 10 feet of snow. There's no way you can come to the game. They like F that.
They're gonna be there, bro. They're gonna be there, bro.
Yeah, man.
Dude, they're gonna hop that train and get downtown somehow if the train's running. Dude, they're gonna be there in Philly, and that's what I love about Philadelphia.
Hey, man,
they're gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you about yourself, man.
Deshaun Jackson.
I don't know if you guys seen this. You know, we turn out so much that when they announced Saquon was on the cover of Madden, that they turned it into they turned our steak place into Saquon's, and it was packed. It was packed.
That's nuts, bro.
If you are Saquon Barkley, because Netflix already got rights to everybody. They got rights to me, you, Luther, Steven. They ain't talking to us about it, but they're like, Luther, we want to do a story on your life. Man, how you going? We know about you. Then they're going to shoot you that check. All right, we can talk. We can talk a little bit about how we Saquon, whatever he went through in New York was worth it. He's like, dude, whatever I went through in New York, it was so worth it. Because now in one year, because Saquon was on the pivot with Ryan and Channing and Fred T. And he said, what bothers me the most, man, people don't think I could play. And Ryan says, no one believes that, Saquon. No one on this planet Earth believes that you can't play for. Now there are people, even these sensationalized podcast hosts won't even say that. They can't even get themselves to do their 270 characters and say he ain't that good. They will shut down your X account, Twitter, whatever they call it. There are two people. No. There are three people that thought you couldn't play. One was the head coach of the Giants. One was the GM, and one was the owner. And all the owner had to say was, "Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Hold on, out of everybody on the team, you're gonna let the face of our. So let me get this straight. You let go of Saquon. You kept Daniel Jones, and even Daniel left. Even Daniel said, I can't do this. What you mean? What am I gonna do without Saquon? And now in 1 year, 2,000 yards, could have broke the rushing title, won a Super Duper Bowl. Now you're on the front cover of Madden. We know that's a Jacksonville Jaguars player. I know they took the
he's immortalized, unfortunately.
I mean, it's like this, dude. I said this. Saquon Barkley is the Michael Jackson of jumping over people because he's the only one did it. I'm gonna say it. I don't care. He is the Michael Jackson of jumping over. He did it. You know how athletically gifted you got to be to say,
listen,
oh shoot, I'm just
fellas. Man, I love me some tight ends. We gotta give Dallas Goedert some props for being the first one to jump. He jumped over that dude backwards.
I'm glad you brought that up, Luke.
But it was the preseason. It was a touchdown, wasn't it?
Listen, send me.
We gotta find Dallas Goedert jumping over
Dallas. I'm gonna find that clip. Because this is what I'm gonna do. I don't know who invented the moonwalk, and it doesn't really matter now because they're gonna give it.
But
to
who
Mike.
mastered? Exactly.
But Dallas, listen, if you were the first, yes, me and Luther are biased as hell. When it comes to tight ends, we gonna start a tight ends union, and we coming for all y'all other positions, all y'all other positions. Because guess what? If Dallas started the back with the greatest call in Philadelphia Eagles history, it's called Philly. It's the greatest call. Who threw it to Nick Foles? That would be
tight end. That would be a tight end.
I'm just telling y'all.
I'm just telling you.
Listen, we don't want to do this.
Touchdown.
We don't listen. Receivers, we love y'all. We respect AJ, Devontae. We love y'all, man. But y'all know if the tight end ain't on the field, y'all looking for what they and mind you. And
that's big brother.
I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. I appreciate you, Gronk. Gronk, you made the tight end position the it position. You made it to where people start because Luther had to deal with this. Hey man, what's your name, man? Luther? Play football? Yeah, man. I played the firm. What position? I played tight end. Most people gonna be like, "What's that?"
What do y'all do?
I go Travis Kelce. He's with Taylor Swift. Oh, they still don't know what it is. They still don't know what it is, right? But I'm gonna say this. Every great team has certain things in common. They got a great culture. They got a great coach. They got it. You know what I'm saying? They got a great running game. I bet you they got a great tight end. Just go check. Go back as far as you want to go. Or as far, and no one wants to talk about. People say John Elway in Denver. Didn't they have Shannon Sharp?
Yeah, Shannon Sharp.
Oh, okay. The Dallas Cowboys. They're talking about the big three, right? Didn't they have Jay Novacek? They don't want to do it. They don't want to. They gonna give credit to everybody, but. And we get it. We used to it, but we
finally started to not be the least paid position player besides fullback and punters. Like hell, punters and kickers were making more than tight ends. We were low on the totem pole. You go back about 15 years and look at the franchise tag numbers for players, and tight ends were always at the bottom of that list. This was stuff. Hell, what's his name? Just signed for what, 19 million a year? The Niners signing. Kittle finally started to get up there. I love it. I love it.
You know what's crazy?
I love it.
You know what's crazy? And the rookie receiving leaders in 2024. These are rookie receiving leaders. Number one was Brian Thomas Jr. He had 1,282 yards. Malik Neighbors 1,204 yards.
1,200.
Bowers had 1,194. He almost led all.
He had said 1,200 yards. And didn't he get hurt?
All I'm saying is, Luther, you like me. I go, look, man. When people say, well, Ben, what position on the field? I said, don't ask me. Why? Listen, I love the quarterback. Got to have it. Love the O-line. Got to have them. Name a player that's asked to do more than a tight end. We got the pass block and run block, and we got to get out there and
pass block, run block,
and we got to pass
game, and you better play special teams too.
And sometimes,
you're not our star.
Game of the year, they might ask us to throw that thing. You go
right.
Philly.
You might ask us to run Philly special and throw a damn touchdown.
Listen, I talked to Trey. I said, Trey, when the play came in, this is what he said. He said, when the play came in, man, I said, wait, what? He said, wait, Philly, we finna do it? Mind you, he's running the field. We're gonna do yeah. And he said, I said, the hardest throw is the one you threw. He said he was wide open. He said, being it happened so fast, I got that thing and threw it. And he said, this is the humbleness of a tight end. He says, Ben, I didn't even know the significance of it until we went to the party after. He said, all the people just come to me, hugging me. I said, boy,
that day was beautiful. Because you're just doing your job at that point. Dude, I want to get your guys' that place still gives me goosebumps, man.
Love it.
I know we're showing the tight ends love, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. You know, obviously, Howie did his moving and shaking again this past week, and we were able to get some significant cap relief out of here. You know, get this young man at the San Francisco. What do you feeling about it now? About the edge rushers on this defense? You know, there is no Brandon Graham. There is no Josh Sweat. You know, you got Huff now out there in San Francisco. You think these young kids are going to eat, or is there a bit of concern that you don't have any star power out there on the edge rushers?
I don't have any
What was
concern.
the star power last year? You know
I
what I'm
guess
saying?
the only one you would really have to say would be the star power would have been Sweat and BG,
But coming into the season, like Sweat was he a star power,
no,
superstar?
I
Not
think
not not hating on him. I'm saying what
yeah,
we
I know.
have are a bunch of really good players at the defensive end position.
I
They're
think it's going to be a chance
younger
for
now,
Nolan Smith to
and
kind
they're
of say like, "Hey, I'm a captain here. I'm a leader here." I think like a
yeah.
guy like Nolan Smith really steps up, and I think the other, the guys they drafted, bringing Uche in, bringing Olajari in. I think the way that Fangio runs it, I don't think there's going to be a big drop off either.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
it's not.
what we do have are a bunch of really good players that gets to rotate. That's part of being really good. If you're fresh, if you got another fresh guy in who can really play, that presents a problem for the tackles who you're not rotating out your tackles. The tackle's got to go all game, and you've got a guy. Let's say you got a superstar guy. Let's say you scale 1 to 10, and you got a guy out there who's a 10, and then a bunch of sixes, right? But let's say you got a bunch of eights, and they're rotating, and they're at that level all game. You have a problem, and that's what Philadelphia have. They have built so much depth on that defensive line, and you see guys coming in. Jalix Hunt in the Super Bowl. He's fresh coming in and terrorizing the tackle. Um, I don't know. What happens is you lose your top guys, and your next guy has to step up. And when there's an injury, that hurts your depth. Once you lose those guys, it becomes a depth thing, right? Now we have to develop the newer guys or the younger guys to be that depth that the depth from last year, the 3 and 4s have stepping up to 1s and 2s. The next guys have to step up to be that talented depth. That's the thing about Philly last year. We had depth all over the field, and when injuries happened, it didn't stop us. I mean, you get N'Kobe to go down, and what happens? It's almost like we forgot about N'Kobe, and he was our starting
Mhm.
Because
linebacker.
Warren Burns there was no drop off.
Yeah, yeah.
Lucky.
When Burks came in, he just did his job, man. So, again, in the secondary, we lost CJ Gardner Johnson, but we drafted Makuba. Uh, we've got two guys who were rookies last year who stepped up. I don't know what they're going to do with Cooper, but that depth is going to be tested because we lost quite a few secondary guys, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you lose. Maddox went to Detroit, I think.
Mhm.
You lose a CJ Garner Johnson, but Vic Fangio basically said he's keeping Coop in that nickel, and he might even in certain packages slide him back to safety as well. So,
But I think you just said it too. You just said the key word. Vic Fangio. They went to Vic and said, "Listen, we're thinking about trading. We're thinking about trading Huff." Well, Huff was on a prove it deal. He had a 1 year. Yeah, he had a prove it deal. I mean,
Right.
And Vic looks at it like this. Vic goes, "Look, all I need is on the D line. You need one disruptor and a band of brothers. That's all the D line is. You need one disruptor. Well, that is Jalen Carter. That is your disruptor, right? And a band of brothers, because Jalen Carter is a freak. Like he is nasty good. Like just you can't do nothing with him.
He is a freak. Did you see what Trot said? Apparently, like Trot's been talking to him, right? I found this little one that basically, from what he's talked to, is that he's such a freak. He still doesn't know how to play the position. He doesn't know how to play the position, and we're sitting there talking about a guy that you could probably say is the top 3 defensive lineman in the league, not just on the Eagles roster, in the league, and he still doesn't know how to play the. Good God, the potential of that kid, man.
I mean, look, what Huff, Sweat, Milton Williams, all these guys should have realized is, dude, we understand that guys want to make their money, but we looking at the guy that played the best down the stretch and in the Super Bowl was freaking Nolan Smith. The way he played,
Nolan Smith was a problem. He was a problem.
It
Game
was
in, game
incredible.
out in the playoffs.
And I think it's the Vic Fangio system to say, look, man, we set it up to where you got to cover 53 blades of grass. We put Jalen Carter scares you so much. You're gonna double him. I don't care if
You're
he's
going to
playing.
double,
I cannot let
and
this
guys
dude
get
Jordan Davis.
singled up. And guys get singled up. That's a problem.
And then you got Jordan Davis, and from what I understand, he's fell in love with the Peloton bike, and he's in the best shape of his entire life right now.
Well, let's hope so.
I'm just telling you what the Eagles have done. It says, yes, we have a superstar in Jalen, and they said they're going to take Jalen. I guarantee you, Vic said they're going to take you out of this game. They're not going to let you disrupt it. What y'all going to do? And look at what the Band of Brothers do. That is football. They say, we understand what Jalen means to this defense, especially this defensive line. Nolan, what? One guy can block you? Oh, okay. And next thing you know, guys start making plays. Now, Milton and Sweat, listen, we could have got a sack in the Super Bowl now. They couldn't block. Good God, they couldn't block nobody. They just couldn't. Luther, Steve, being get in there. Who's doing? Just go. They couldn't block them.
Just go. They couldn't block the soul.
A soul, and I think, and everyone knows in football 1-on-1, if your front five can't block our front four, it's a wrap. I don't care what
it's a wrap. You're
done.
I don't care. You could have Patrick Mahomes back there. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. What the Giants did to him in the Super Bowl. If we get into your face with our front four, it's over. And if our front four dominates yours, that's even if our offensive line dominates your line, that's even a bigger problem. The Eagles do a really good job of investing in their lines, man.
Yeah, and so I mean, Hassan Reddick gone, didn't matter. Sweat and Milton Williams gonna be gone. We got it. I think sometimes too, if you are Nolan Smith, they say, "Hey, Nolan, man, we believe in you." What? Huff's gone. What? He's gone. He's gone. And it's like now, I'm gonna be the starter. Yep, you're not gonna do this off the bench stuff. You're gonna be starting. Ojulari, who they got from the Giants, I think he's a backup. So guys they bringing in can see, man, if you play D-line and you don't want to play for the Eagles, you don't like football. And you haven't been watching. You just haven't. The mere fact that if Trot said that Jalen Carter don't even know what he's doing, that is beyond scary. That's a what? He don't even know what he's doing. Man, get out of here. What you mean? So he don't know what he's doing. He's the first team All-Pro. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he don't even know. I just think that Jalen is the type of player they'll say, man, do you want to be AD lineman with Philly or you want to be the premier? Who was well, you can't, I mean, yeah, the greatest D lineman ever come through Philly. I mean, it's we know who it is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But then what's the other guy that died in Philly?
It was Reggie White and Jerome Brown.
Jerome Brown. So my guy that went to my. So I think when they're telling Jalen, look, man, Jalen Carter, Jalen Hurts is him already, and he wants to be more of that. He wants more of that. He's chasing a different legacy at the quarterback position. I mean, Jerome Brown, from what I saw of him, unfair. Like how great he was right there. He was Warren Sapp and Green. That's what they say. He was Warren Sapp for the Eagles. He couldn't do nothing with this dude. I mean, he was.
Who's that?
Jerome Brown.
Oh yeah, Jerome Brown was a problem.
They say, I mean, so I just think that Vic Fangio got all them boys believing, and he's saying, look, we don't need no alpha male, even though we got one in Jalen. Any one of us can look like alpha males in any given game. This called a takeover, and any one of us can do it. And I think that's because if you could take away one guy and your D line is very ordinary, you ain't got that good of a D line. But you take away the number one guy, Jordan Davis on Pelotons, we'll see. That's gonna be because I think for Jordan Davis, they're telling him you can't be you can't be a one-trick pony. We know you can take on a double team. We know you a run stopper. Can you get to the quarterback and can you be on the field for more than 6-7 plays in a row? Because they're gonna try to wear you out. They're gonna try to, but can you go on a 10-play drive and be the reason why you get off the field on third down? You know what I'm saying? That's what they're telling Jordan. They saying, man, we know you have the potential, but can you show it? Because you talk about scary. If Jordan, when I was watching Georgia when they was at their prime, I ain't never seen a defense like this.
Ooh,
It wasn't Jalen
Lord.
Carter. Jordan Davis was doing. I got that big running down. Quarter. I'm like, who in the world is this? Jordan Davis.
Bro, watch.
Crazy.
Of course, he went to high school here, right? In Charlotte area. And then I'm a huge Clemson fan, and I watched that dude when we played Georgia in the first game of the season. That was a defensive battle. It was like what was the final score? Like 17-9 or whatever. That dude looks like he was lining up in our backfield. Unblockable. When he's motivated and fresh and in shape, he's unblockable. And look at him run. Look at him run, dude. Big dude's not supposed to move like that.
No, at all.
God,
And
man,
and, and Stephen, they did it too. Luther, me and Steve were talking about. We said, hey, are they gonna give him a new deal? They said they're gonna pick up his 5th-year option. So they showing him, look, we're gonna invest.
Yeah.
We're gonna give you. We drafted you. We're gonna give you a whole rookie deal. He'll say, well, do you really want your rookie deal or you want a new deal?
or you want a new deal because you know who's getting paid, who's about to break the bank is Jalen Carter. So he better get his money. Jalen
Jalen Carter
Carter,
gonna
they're
be
gonna
like
have to pay
They're gonna just give him a check, with no numbers on it.
with no numbers
Ain't no
on it.
numbers on this. Just write it in. Just write it in, young man, and we got you.
He's
We'll make
God,
it.
man. He's about to get 40 mil.
I ain't mad at him, man. You know, Georgia boy. You know, hey, get
I'm
your
not
money.
mad at him. Get your
I ain't
money.
mad. Get your money, man. And like I said,
That thing doesn't last forever, man. Get your money.
you ain't lying, man. Get your cheese, young, and don't worry about the rest of the league. They have to deal with it. But no, if Trot said that, Steven, that is. I mean, because Trot is like, dude, you don't even know what you're doing, do you? Not for real.
Right. Trot said from what he's hearing in the building, he doesn't even really know the position like the greats do. He's just using his God-given ability.
Man,
And
that's
he's
unfair.
still learning. He's still learning.
Which is absolutely ridiculous.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. Like I can't imagine being that good at football. I can't imagine being that good. Like, I mean, of course, we played in the NFL. Other people are like, really? What are you talking about? You played in the NFL. Then there's some guys on the field that you
Mhm.
see, and
Yeah.
you're like, how what? How's that even possible? You
Brian,
marvel
yep.
without saying
Brian,
it out loud. You're
yep.
you're just like, what? How is he?
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I remember
Certain
we
guys like,
signed when Steve Smith got drafted. And I was like, who is this? We got a receiver from Utah, and he's supposed to be really good. He hurt his neck. That's why he slipped to the 3rd round, right? Bro, it was like the second day of practice. I called my cousin. I said, look, you go call me crazy. You have no idea who this guy is. We got a receiver from Utah. And that dude is going to be one of the best receivers in the league. He jumps off the film. He just jumps off and he looked him up. He's like, whatever, dude. It's some little dude. He looks like a return guy. I said, dude, just give it a couple years. Man, Steve returned the first damn kickoff of the season to the house.
man, certain guys are that. Listen, I'm gonna keep saying this. The best brand of football is played on Saturday. You want the best brand that you're gonna variety? It's gonna be on Saturday. College. The best players in the world play on Sunday, and they do things with the other best players in the world. I watched Keith Bullock, Keith Bullock went to
Bull.
Syracuse. Listen,
I know, Bull.
Steve is a K-ball. We playing on Monday night. We happen to play the Saints. Drew Brees, the quarterback. He picked him off, not one time, not 2 times, but 3 times. And when he picked him off the 3rd time to seal the game, he picked it off, kneeled down, jumped up, and threw the ball back. He threw the ball back to Drew and said, stop trying me. I said, wait. I mean, we like, did you? I'm telling you, listen, there are things that happen in practice that people never get to see. The stuff we see in the games is great. There are things that happen in practice. Did he just there? It's like
Dude, the stuff you see in practice, bro.
Y'all are, look.
Some of the stuff you see in practice is nuts, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like I said.
It's
You
just
know,
like a hooper. I thought I was a hooper. I used to be a hooper. And you play with guys, right? And you're playing pickup and you're like, yo, I can't even tell people this happened. They're not going to believe me. Some of the things you see from hoopers and pickup ball, it just reminds me of some of those guys out on the football field. It's like that's not supposed to happen. I remember first when I got there, Irvin Frye was still there. He was older, right? And you know how special he was. If you're the number one overall pick in the draft as a wide receiver out of triple wishbone, Nebraska, you are special. Irvin
yep.
Frye was the number one overall pick in the draft from Nebraska, who ran the damn option. Bro, he was running full speed down the field on a go route, and the ball was underthrown. You know what he did, bro? He reached back with both hands and caught it behind his back.
I'm
Like
not. I'm running.
he
I'm a
didn't
fight.
even look. He just reached back and caught it. And I'm like,
If I'm a DB, listen. Irvin Frye, you should be in the Hall of Fame. If I'm a DB and you do that to me, I am going to fight you because I'm
bro,
like, why you don't do that against me? Don't
bro,
do that.
he reached back like a handcuff and caught the ball and just kept cruising down the field. And at this point, I'm like, dude, am I good enough? Am I gonna make it in this league? These dudes are too good. I didn't know guys were this good. I thought I was gonna be something. I'm like, dude, these dudes are too good, man. I would call home all the time, talk to my cousin who's my best friend. I'm like, dude, these dudes are ridiculous. I'm about to start looking for grad school, bro.
These dudes are no. It's a. There are. When I was in college, I got to college in 2000. Michael Vick got there in 99 or 98 or whenever he got there, and he's doing his thing at Virginia Tech. And we used to walk around campus, and girls would say, "Do you guys play Virginia Tech?" We like, hell no, we don't. We don't. We don't. We don't. And mind you, I'm on offense. Let me tell you something. I said, I don't want no part of Michael Vick. Listen, what Philadelphia did for Michael Vick was cementing his legacy in the league as a true quarterback. Because when he was with the Falcons, that's all athleticism he's doing. It's him and Algie Crumpler. And I know he had work done, and but I think when he get to Philly, it's Monday night. It's those Redskins. First play from scrimmage, him and Deshaun. Bonds up touchdown. What I'm saying is Michael Vick was in the MVP race that year. He didn't win it. And to me, that's what Philly does. That's what the NFL can do to say, dude, this man comes out of jail. Tony Dungy said, hey, Andy, listen, man, listen. He's a different dude now. You sure? I vouch for him. When I said Michael Vick going to Philly, Donovan McNabb gets hurt. He ends up going to Washington. He becomes a star. No. Donovan was gone. It was the other.
They had traded that. Was it Kevin Cobb?
Yeah.
No, it was Nick Foles.
No. It was Kevin, because Kevin Cobb got tackled by Clay Matthews, because when he tackled him, he wrapped him up, and next thing you know, Michael Vick comes in. That number 7 coming, and I go, dude, and then he got the man. Michael Vick got to go back to Atlanta, wearing Eagles green. I said he finna show out. He finna. I was gonna go to that game. I just couldn't stand it. I said nope. I ain't. And I got a Michael Vick. I got a Michael Vick Atlanta Falcons already. I said I can't, because to me, I was just happy that the team let him run out first. Man, I said this the dome that Vick built, man, not Deion Sanders, baby. This is Vick. Yeah. But hey, man, it's like I said, when it comes to those type of stories, when it comes to players, like I said, I'm gonna keep telling people this. I don't care what no one says. Julius Peppers could have been in the end.
Oh my God!
Hey,
my God!
He made the Final Four. I think he made the Final Four.
They played the Final Four. He started on their Final Four team, Joe Forte team. Dude,
he's all of 6'7". He's all of 6'7".
6'7". Bro, you know he was a running back, right?
I'm not dealing with
Have you guys seen any of his high school highlights?
No,
I'm not
I
dealing with
haven't got a chance to,
I'm
Man,
unfortunately.
not dealing
you
with
gotta Google. You gotta Google and see if you can just see just a giant running around the field, out athleticing everybody. That's not even a word. Yo,
I'm
looking
not
like
dealing.
he was out there looking like Deshaun Jackson.
No, man, it's one of those things.
Who they kept talking about this dude, and they were
Hold on one
asking
second,
him
guys.
what position he played, and he was
Uh,
like, he was an All American, and some dude said he was looking for at All American list and didn't see him on there, and they're like, oh, they don't even have a position for me. He was
give
utility,
me one.
because he just did everything. That dude, woo,
I gotta
that's
let the
something
nurse in
else
for my
right there.
mom. Give me 1 second, guys.
What you say?
I gotta let the nurse in for my mom. Give me 1 second, guys.
All right, we
Okay,
good, we good, we good, we
take your
good.
time,
Go
brother.
ahead, take your time, bro. No, man, it's Luther. It comes down to the fact that people be asking, how you guys got stories for days. I say, dude,
For
college,
days.
bro, dude, it's almost like you've seen things and been around things that you go, dude. I grew up with the
And
guy.
people are thinking you're being modest. I'm like, dude, I'm not being modest. Like, prime example, my cousin, his son just got drafted by the Saints, Vernon Broughton Jr., right? Vernon is my cousin. Vernon is the most special athlete I've ever seen in my life. 6'6", 240, 4'4", mean, but he wanted to hoop. Dude, I broke my collarbone the second day I ever played football in my life. So I became the stat guy so I could be around the team. Vernon, I never had a stat page where Vernon had less than 20 tackles. He played inside linebacker, 6'6", 240, and this is him, range all over the place. He wanted to hoop. You know how hard it is to make the NFL, right, Ben?
Yes.
Vernon was 30 years old. He went to one of, I think, Furman's workout because he found out some teams were working out, and I thought it was a pipe dream. Like, dude, you can't get signed off the street. Vernon was 6'6", 300 at the time, not in the best shape of his life. He ran a sub 4.9. The Panthers signed him off the street. People don't understand how ridiculous that is to get signed off the street.
Yeah.
They signed him off the street, bro. And when you talk about guys like that, how people like, man, you're being modest because you played in the NFL, and I'm like, no, dude. You get on this field and you look at some of these guys and what they can do and what they can do so easily, and you marvel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan. I'm still a fan. I'm like, I've always been a fan. And you take a guy like John Runyon and how big he was, and it was like, this is not some big sloppy dude. Look at him moving. Look at him moving, man. It's like
John,
NFL is
John,
crazy,
John,
man.
John, 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 John Runyon versus Michael Strahan could be a documentary series.
Oh, bro, I was
That's
there a
right,
lot
yeah,
for.
man.
I was
All
there
you
for a
saw was
lot of that, bro.
Michael Strahan. Oh, am I gonna? John, like, yep, you're gonna have to do all that. You already know what it
Bro,
is. I don't like
I
you. You
was
don't
there for
like me.
some of that. You don't like me, I don't like you. Let's go. And they would just go at it, and they never did any dirty ish to each other. They just went after, shook hands after the game. I'll see you in 4 weeks.
See,
I think John presented him his Hall of Fame ceremony, right?
see?
If I'm not wrong, dude, that's just the way it is, dude. You got to go at a guy. You got to
I
go
mean,
at a guy, or he's gonna eat you alive.
it ain't personal.
It ain't
I go
personal. I'm gonna
listen to
have
him.
to go at you, Ben. We go. I'm gonna go after you, and
Yeah,
we gonna shake hands
it's the
and
highest
holler
level of
afterward.
respect there is. It's the highest. It's like this. Nobody you want to embarrass more than somebody you know. Your people, like
Nobody,
you
dude.
do you dirty.
I want we're playing pickup ball. I want you guarding me. I want to yoke all in your grill
Oh yeah,
and talk about it for the next 2 months
oh
because
yeah.
you're gonna get me back at some point.
Oh, of course, yeah,
But
yeah.
that's the highest
The
level of respect. You
yeah.
don't have that. You if you're not talking trash or getting that, you kind of don't respect them that much, or you don't think they have game. He's
Of
like,
course,
He's not worth it.
Yeah, you want to play against you want to play if you man, you play against like your cousin or your brother or somebody like that. You like, dude, I'm trying to, and mind you, I'm just trying to get you one good time. Listen, I need one. And I'm gonna exaggerate this thing like crazy.
That's all I need, because I'm talking forever. Where, dude? Where you gonna come visit me in the hospital with tubes and all that stuff in there, and be like, man, you remember back in like '98 when I dunked on you and push you under the basket?
You're like,
I mean, I might have exaggerated or whatever, but I'm keeping that going until you have to bury me. I'm talking.
Oh, listen, those are the sports moments in our lives against people that are important to us. They only get grander and grander, as you get older, as they should be. But it's like, why wouldn't it be that? Why wouldn't it? Look, me and my brother used to take on my dad and my little sister in our backyard in Augusta because my daddy could shoot. My dad played basketball in the Army, so he was a hooper. And in my mind, my daddy could hoop now. My daddy could hoop. And what happens is, though, no matter how I thought the game went, my daddy always had humbling statements like, "No, you didn't do that. No, you didn't do that." He says, he goes, "Yeah, you 6'5". Yeah, you can dunk. Yeah, he say, "That's why I shoot you out the gym." He'll say, "What's your nickname?" Wacko. What? Wacko. And he just hitting them. Mind you, my daddy, we had a basketball goal in the backyard. My daddy did not practice back. Me and my brother, we can hit all the trick shots. So we think we got him. Let's do it. And he'll go, "If y'all was so much better than me," he said, it was me and your sister versus you and your brother. I was like, yeah. He says, "I ain't worried about y'all for real." He said, because y'all had the age on me. He said, "Y'all got the age on me, right? That's why I asked you, what's your nickname?" And every time he says that to this day, "What's your nickname?" walk out the room. Because I know what he's referencing.
Because what he's getting at. Dad, come on, man.
Just to let us know it wasn't a fluke, we went to an outside court.
Come on, Dad.
And he says, "Steve, we out there with the church deacons. It's the church deacon board versus us youngins. Listen, it's the shorts versus the sweatpants. They got on jogging pants, windbreakers, and all we heard was swag 'em. And my thing, I go, wait a minute. They whooping us. And then they said, this was the last game when they said, "We can't do y'all like that. We gotta let y'all run it back." And we got beat again. Because we thinking young, athletic, older, you know what I'm saying? Being gay, Geritol, they can't do it. At a certain point, everybody talking trash to us. Guys that don't even talk. Asking us, "What is your nickname, sir? What did you say?" We're calling them sir and brother Eric and brother
and they're talking trash.
And we listen,
get out here, old man.
We got a couple of areas.
I'm not helping you move this weekend, man.
I tell that to my nephew now. I says, being able to dunk is athleticism. That's not basketball. Can you hoop?
Can you hoop?
Can you hoop? And now, every time, if it's Father's Day, if it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, my dad in here having, family conversation, he goes, back in the day we was playing basketball. I got to go to the bathroom. I don't want to sit here for this, because my daddy finna go, "Yeah, he's a my son is a great athlete, man, great football player, this and the third." He say, "But he know where I dominate." He said he know where his domain is, and he know where mine. And guess what? Getting them, me living in Georgia now, in Atlanta. My daughter, she plays basketball, so we went out and got a little basketball court. Who pulls up? My daddy pulls up.
All right, Ben. It's time for Luther to go. Let's give him a proper send off, because I know he said he has a hard out at 12:30. So
yeah,
give us just a minute or so. So Luther, it's always a pleasure catching up with you. Let us know when you're free again, so we can chop it up some more. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Any last words? It's always yours, my friend.
Man, my last words are always "Go Birds."
All right, Luther. Appreciate your time this afternoon. We'll catch up with you soon, my friend.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, everyone. Luther Broughton always hopping in there, giving us getting Ben going, talking war stories and stuff like that. It's always fun catching up with Luther and having him here on the network. Want to kind of get back into it, loosely touched on Saquon is now the Madden 26 cover model. Couldn't be more fitting. Madden 26.
And no curses. Calvin Johnson already killed that stuff. It's gonna be that. Listen, when people talk about what I wish I could have done, I don't wish a lot of things in sports. Could I have been on the Madden cover? Oh my God, I would have. Because guess what, Steven? That's forever, baby. Because people gonna say you ain't Madden.
He's only the second Eagle. He's only the second Eagle on the Madden cover. Everyone wants to say T.O. T.O. was that other brand. It wasn't Madden. But people already asked Saquon, is he nervous about the curse? And he's like, nah, man, I'm a believer in God. Like that's my mindset to be completely honest. So
Saquon, man,
he's not worried about the running back curse because I think the running backs who've been on the cover has played a total of 9 games combined between I think since I think the early 2000s.
Wow,
9 games.
So Calvin Johnson killed the curse because I want to say the year he was on the cover is when he broke the receiving record. That's the year he broke it. Yep. Saquon Barkley said, "Nah, man, I'm a believer in God, man. It's almost like we so superstitious, man. What about God? Don't put Saquon
as fans, we are, man. We are.
We are. But I am happy for Saquon. And listen, shout out to the city of Philly. It's like
Geno Stakes gave up their sign and let them put Saquon on the front of the.
I'm just saying, man. Saquon Barkley is telling. Saquon Barkley owes so much to not just the city of Philly, but the state of Pennsylvania, Penn State. Now you got he like it. I never wanted to leave. You know what? He almost was supposed to be like LaShawn McCoy went to Pitt, got drafted by Philly, and Deshaun Jackson even told LaShawn, he said, dude, it's cool that you went to Buffalo and it's cool that you won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay and Kansas City. Man, people know you because of what you did in Philly, which is so true. Like, dude, you are. And look, and I know he's up for the Hall of Fame these next couple of years. I hope he gets in. LaShawn McCoy does not shy away from controversy. Don't ask him if you think he's good at it. Listen, he said, outside of Barry, I don't think none of them was better than me. Outside of Barry, I don't think none of them was.
LaShawn got into some deep water with Eagles fans because he was spilling some beans out there on the network. Obviously he's privy to conversation and the athletes and stuff like that. And basically was sitting there saying that AJ Brown let him know that the offense runs through Jalen Hurts. The offensive coordinator don't mean nothing. Whoever comes in has to run their offense through Jalen Hurts. And in my opinion, I don't see that. Like, I get where some fans are upset, but like, are y'all telling us something we don't already know?
They ain't lying. I would have been like, I know you on the same network with Daniels, the quarterback that's talking trash about Jalen.
Hey, we were already talking about him. Did you see what he did this week?
No,
we're supposed to win the Super Bowl according to him this week. So all this running his mouth, running down Jalen for this, that, and the third. He's not in my top 5 quarterbacks to build a team around, but has us as the number 1 offense. Now he has us. We're the favorites to win the Super Bowl, even though it's not going to be easy. Going back to back is never going to be easy, not for any team. But if you look at this team constructed, regardless of trades that have made happen, we don't know when Nakobe Dean's going to be back. We don't know when Campbell's going to be able to hit the field. They say it's going to be early August by the time he's able to be full pads and full practice. But I mean, top to bottom, tell me where the weakness is. They keep sitting there saying the passing game's the only weakness. I can't get behind some of this stuff, but
it's not
that goes on with the network guys. Crack me up.
How? Like you ask the best tandem. People gonna say, hey, man, who the best tandem receivers in the league? People gonna say, I don't know.
It's Cincinnati or Philadelphia.
And here's the thing about Cincinnati, right? Here's the thing about Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, incredible. T. Higgins, incredible. Devonta Smith, AJ Brown, are you serious? People talking about what about George Pickens and what about CeeDee Lamb? What about him? I ain't seen him yet. I gotta
keep talking about he's a top 5 receiver, right? I'm gonna come over with this graphic from you that I pulled, right? This is going over 2004 receiver yard leaders by route. right? Obviously, Scary Terry got the go routes. You know, obviously, A.J. Brown's the king of the slant. In routes is Amon St. Brown. Crossing routes, it was the rookie Marvin Harrison. Out routes, oh, big surprise, Jamar Chase. Hitching comes back, oh, big surprise, Jamar Chase. Post routes, Reek, right? You know, you got your boy Kyle Pitts in there, and you got a couple running backs for those out of the backfield routes. Who's the one missing? Where's CeeDee Lamb?
Where's George Pickens?
Everyone keeps telling me CeeDee Lamb's this great receiver. Where's CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah. Hey man, and you make a strong point, because here's the thing: people gonna say this. Hey man, and I know people can get mad in Dallas. People say, is CeeDee Lamb a good receiver? Yep. CeeDee Lamb get a lot of throws too. He get a lot of them. I mean, a lot, and he should. He's the number one target. But like you mentioned, that's how integral in depth we've got. We can tell you who the best route runners in, because you had rookies on there, you had all pros on there, you had Pro Bowlers on there, you had running backs on there.
Even your boy Kyle Pitts was on there.
Kyle Pitts is a corner running fool. He's nice when they run them. And I think the thing is, CD is gonna realize this. You are part of the 88 club. You, Dez Bryant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it, Michael Irvin. But football fans know what we're looking at. We know. We don't got to know everything we're looking at, but we know the key points of what we're looking at. And when it comes to CeeDee Lamb, guess what? All that gets put to rest. First game of the year. Never been locked up. Okay. Cool. And George Pickens. Love the fact that George Pickens went over to the Dallas Cowboys, because that's going to eliminate another excuse for Dak, for Jerry, for Brian Schottenheimer, even though he got a developmental quarterback. I don't know what that means, but I just think that when it comes to the Eagles, right? The Eagles have become the team that everybody wants to talk about because they think they're making a valid point until people ask you, explain what you mean. They can't. Chase Daniels can't explain it. LaShawn McCoy say, I don't care who you are, you got to run it through. You got to run through Jalen Hurts. You don't think Kansas City run their offense through Patrick Mahomes? You don't think Cincinnati run their offense through Joe Burrow? You don't think the Buffalo run their offense through Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson? Listen, y'all, just because you say it don't mean you saying something. Jalen Hurts has earned that right. You know what back to back means? That means you the reigning champs. People tell me, you know how hard it is to go back to back. You know how hard it is to win it. Period.
There's only been 9. There's only been 9 back-to-back Super Bowl champions.
I'm trying to tell y'all, when Jalen goes back to back, Jalen's like, remember when Kevin Durant first came into the NBA? He was real quiet, didn't say a whole bunch. Then he went to Golden State, and he won back-to-back chips. See how he talk now? Because people get sick of, and people say, well, Ben, you shouldn't care about the naysayers. No, the naysayers are motivators. They're the one that motivates you. Because there's so many of them. It's so many that got something to say.
We already know that they're the motivators, because we've seen the graphic by now, like, Jalen Hurts walking in, right? Walking into the Super Bowl, and you've seen him looking at the screens when it says everyone's going through the picks, and you see Kansas City, and you just see him like, okay. You guys continually, we use the Adam Sandler term in Waterboy, that you giving him his tackling fuel. Y'all just motivating this dude every day. Keep talking. Yeah. That's what Jalen does. He turns your doubt into his fuel to
prove. They're gonna keep talking. They're gonna keep talking. And listen, that's what we all use, Stephen. Stephen, at one point in time, listen, before we became, media personality guys, sports analysts guys, podcasters, we heard people saying, "You gonna do this? Are you sure you want to do this? I don't think you're gonna." And you like this, and I know this is improper English, but I'm like, who is you? Who is you to tell me what I can't do because you don't see it in me? With Jalen Hurts, what he does is say, "Dude, I know how to do this football. I went to Alabama. Let's just stop right there. I went to Alabama, and I got recruited as a 5-star, if I'm not believing, and I was a starter. They wanted to go a different direction. Well, when I come to Philly, they already had the guy they thought they had. They got rid of Nick. They got Carson. I just proved that Carson wasn't who they thought Carson was. I ain't have nothing against Carson. I just said, if I ever become a starter, I'm not giving it up. That's all. If I ever become a starter, I'm not. You know why CeeDee Lamb knew that Jalen Hurts could do it? Because that's who threw to him. That's who threw to him at Oklahoma.
You don't hear CeeDee Lamb say nothing about Jalen. Nothing.
Listen, every time. Listen, I tell you what, and I know what he's gonna say. But if he was keeping it real, CeeDee, yeah. If we just keeping it real, yeah, who would you rather have? listen, you won't get penalized for it. Dak or Jay. And I said, because if we're being honest now, Jaden Daniels had the best rookie season we ever seen. It was incredible. Who shut it down? See, no one who said, all right, Jalen, great job. I mean, all right, Jaden, great job. Go home. Because guess what? Jaden Daniels is
55 on them boys.
Jaden Daniels is in the league at the right time. He in the wrong division. I'm gonna say he right time, wrong division. Because let me tell you something. I was in the league when they used to call the NFC East the NFC Beast. It was a beast coming out of the East. Well, now the beast lives in Philly. And he's awakened. You don't got to worry about it. You don't got to rattle his cage. He looks real unassuming. He don't look like he's gonna harm. Jalen Hurts respects everybody. He don't like none of them. And guess who fuels his fire? Us. Not me and Steven, because we understand what he does and what he. But there are still people like Daniels, like the guy we had on earlier, Brock Purdy. Y'all, when do we get into it? When do we start saying Brock Purdy, man? Brock Purdy wouldn't believe he do everything better than he said. Jalen Hurts. Brock would be like, why y'all comparing me? Exactly. Compare Brock to Brock. Don't compare Brock to Listen, there ain't too many players can be in the room with Jalen at this point. I mean, Patrick Mahomes can. Hey, man, they be like, hey, who is it? It's me, Lamar. Who? And no, it's me. It's me, Josh. It's me, Joe Burrow. Listen, this is a Super Bowl champions dinner. Oh, for real? Yes.
The only one allowed to knock on the door is Matthew Stafford at this point in time.
The participation trophy dinner is down the hall. You talking about that room that got all those people in it? Yeah. That room crowded as hell. I'm just telling y'all, man, unique company is when, listen, Doug Williams can holler at Jalen Hurts. It ain't many in Jalen Hurts' class because of what he's accomplished. Forget what he's going to do. He's already accomplished certain things that most people will never do. And sometimes, Steven, we don't want to admit when we're wrong.
Especially not in the media. You got Nick Romo in there. You remember Jalen Hurts couldn't do this. Saquon Barkley was a waste of money. All this other things, and you never, ever do you see these guys. No, even Colin Cow.
Oh yes.
But Colin does openly admit when he's wrong, and he actually has a segment that says when I was wrong. I'll give Colin that part, but like there's some of these guys that we'd already named. Chase Daniels. He's wrong on a consistent basis. He flip-flops more than a fish on a fisherman's deck.
I'm trying to tell you. But, that is a part of being a professional, in my opinion. When I said, look, man, it's like you come on the show and say, whoa, before we start the show, last week or yesterday or the other day or every day, I say something stupid, dumb, just idiotic. And I need to cut back and say when I was wrong. Here's the thing. If Jalen Hurts is not, who is? And I'm not talking about Patrick Mahomes. If he is not, because if all you can give me is regular season performances and a little bit of postseason, but ain't nobody going to listen. Not only are we not going to remember the first round, divisional round, wild card round, we're going to remember the Super Bowl. And guess what? We might not remember the Super Bowl loser. We remember the Super Bowl winner. And I think for Jalen Hurts, he said, look, man, I've seen America's team, the series. I don't want to be Chris Carter and Randy Moss talking about the America's team, the losers. Y'all really want to talk about this? No, I don't want to talk about it. But that's all they got. Jalen Hurts is saying, it's not that I did it, it's who I did it for. I did it for the Eagles. Yeah. Legendary. What? Yeah. Yeah. And people like, God dang it, not Ron Jaworski, and not Randall Cunningham, and not Donovan McNabb, and not Michael Vick, and not Carson Wentz. Nick Foles did it in a Robin role. And he did it. I ain't taking Nick had a incredible postseason. Jalen said, I'm the starter. But if you type in 2025 Philadelphia Eagles depth chart, Jalen Hurts' name is first. He's the starter. And all I'm saying is we act like what he's done is easy. Not what he's doing. No, he's been to 2 Super Bowls. Ask Ask Lamar Jackson what he want to go to 2. Ask Josh Allen what he want to go to 2. Joe Burrow's been the one, and he lost. All I'm saying is, when they ask Joe Burrow, man, why ain't y'all been playing? Well, I got to play better. Hey, Josh, never mind. Hey, Lamar, never mind. Hey, Justin Herbert, never mind. It's going to be a bunch of never minds when you start to, I tell you what, not that it would happen. Ask Mike Tomlin if he would want a Jalen Hurts on his team. I'm just telling y'all crazy because I'll never
understand. That's where he thought he was going when he was being drafted. That's who he thought he was going to, and I'm sure.
Listen, you had a chance.
They ain't got a quarterback right now, and I know you're dying to get the guy out of your Atlanta Falcons. And I still think he's going to wind up. Kirk Cousins, he's going to wind up in Pittsburgh or he's going to wind up in New Orleans.
Yeah, he will. Kirk Cousins. Let me say this. I don't understand the Kirk Cousins thing. I understood it when he was healthy, like going from Washington to Minnesota. I don't understand it now though, because what do you like? What
that was an over-expensive security blanket that you didn't need.
Man, Kirk Cousins made like $100 million in 2024. For something like that, and that's fine. It's like I'm not understanding, Steven. When it comes to Kirk, listen, Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins
he is like game manager, is he not?
Yeah, man. Kirk Cousins is like your favorite blanket. It don't do nothing. To the outside looking in, it don't do nothing. I mean, I've had this blanket a long time, man. I went to college. I'm just saying, it's like Are we not watching the same Kirk Cousins? Like, they judge Kirk Cousins on his best games. They don't judge him on his worst ones. They don't. Yeah. It's like, oh, man, he threw for 9 touchdowns last year and no picks against Tampa. What else did he do? Well, exactly. Because football, as in life, is we judge you on how bad your bad is. Because everybody got good, right? How bad is Kirk Cousins bad? It's real bad. Kirk Cousins bad. And not only is Kirk Cousins bad, he's old and bad. That's it. It's different if we're talking about 25, 26, don't got to drink milk, body recovered real. No, 36, drives an Astro van, old as hell, coming off of the Achilles. I'm just saying, and Terry Fontenot and them, they could have traded him during the draft. No, we're going to hold on. No, you're trying to justify all that money you gave him. And because it looks real crazy when you give a guy that much money and you draft a quarterback in the same year, and now that quarterback is going to be starting the next year. But it's the quarterback market, man. It's the quarterback market.
Yeah. So I got 2 more before we wrap this one up. As we're the league meetings were ending and stuff like that, Commissioner Goodell had a lengthy conversation about the league salary cap. The salary cap they just added another like almost $100 million this offseason. Basically just, making sure it's being operated within the way it was intended and making sure there's no loopholes and things of that nature. Man, I was being shut down about this last night when we were talking about it inside the pigskin, but don't that sound like a little sour grapes? They're trying to go after our boy Howie here because he's been finding a way around it.
Because what they didn't configure was this. They see salary cap, work within the cap. Okay, Howie is working within the cap, but you never said anything about manipulation. I'm working within it. And my job as the GM of the Eagles is to work within the cap for the nation to see, but to make it work for my team within in-house. That's all he's doing. What they're really afraid of is having GM summits. And Howie go in there and really tell him what he do. Listen, let me tell you, because sometimes, Steven, it's like this. Look, I remember in 2008, I'm with the Tampa Bay Bucks. This is when the iPhone, I think, first came out, if I'm not mistaken. The guy's on the phone, and all of a sudden he get a text message, and it pop up. We go, what the? It's like, whoa, you can get a text, and it's like it shook up the cell phone world, right? It's not that other cell phones couldn't have done it. They just said, hey, man, somebody got to be the first. Howie said, if we going to do this, we got to win. That's why other teams won't do it, because they got to win when you do it. Well, he said, we winning. And our best players are still under the rookie deal. What? Yeah. We've restructured AJ Brown. We've restructured Lane Johnson. We've restructured. We've restructured Saquon. Oh, we coming off a Super Bowl championship where our running back over 2,000 yards could have broke the record. We got rid of our starting safety.
I don't know if you've seen, because of the trades and everything like that, and the releases and everything like that, we are now $27 million in cap space now. Which I think we were just talking. Jalen Carter's about to get his contract. Let's be honest.
Listen. If the owners are serious about keeping this fair, the owners make so much money. I would ask the owners this. Why do y'all care? Y'all are making so. You got teams that don't do anything making money. You got teams that aren't selling out stadiums. You got teams that aren't even nationally relevant. They still making money. People go, Ben, what are those teams called? The Titans, the Colts, the Jags. I mean, it's a bunch of teams, right? And what I'm saying is, the league is saying, dude, the NFL has never been as popular as it is now. They got so many overseas games now that it's crazy. It used to be 1 or 2. Now it's like 6 or 7. What the NFL is really saying is this. Hey, NBA, this is the model we really need. Why? Because the NBA is about the players. The MLB is about the teams, and the NFL is about the shield, the NFL logo. We get it. If Steven and I are the owners of, I don't know, part ownership of the Browns, and they ask, we had the owners meeting, and we got 1% apiece, 2%. We in the corner, and we over there laughing and kicking. Hey, what y'all laughing about? Cause man, like y'all in here going crazy over who gets what. Why y'all worrying about what don't you know? And people don't believe this. The more you give the players, the better they will play. Why? Because they're going to want to play longer because they get more money. And football is a business to where you pay me, they will come. Because all it really matters is this. As long as Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, the phases of the league show up, people are going to come. People go, well, ain't nobody really watching the Cardinals. It depends on who the Cardinals are playing. If the Cardinals are playing the Eagles, they'll watch. But if the Cardinals are playing the Saints, turn it off. No, ain't nobody trying to watch. And that's what this comes down to is, wait a minute. The better my team is, the more marketability we have. Yeah. That's how anything. We don't, if somebody's wearing Nikes, it's not that Nike got the best shoe, they got the biggest brand. That's what branding is. It's not, listen, we could take fake Nike checks, not saying we could do it, and we could throw it on stuff. People gonna wear it. That's Nike. They're gonna assume it's the best, right? And all of you know how many, listen, the steak place, there are people that never had their steak. They put Saquon on the front. People Saquon got a steak joint. No, he don't. But that's branding. Saquon is a brand. I'm telling y'all, let me and Steve come to some of these meetings. I say, yo, how long y'all meet? We meet for 7 hours. Hell no. This food nasty. We don't got to do all that. What do y'all want to know? Give the players more money. Why? Because no one knows y'all for real. Y'all are billionaires before you own these teams, I'm guessing, yeah. Or some of y'all became billionaires after, yeah. Are you getting poorer? No. You're getting richer. You're getting wealthier, yeah. What's the problem? Like, what are we really saying? Pretty soon, we're going to have a $200 million quarterback, $200 million guaranteed. And that's good for the league. Because people are going to say, dude, the NFL gets somebody $200 million. Because you know who people with not a lot of money want to be around? People with money. Or look like they got money. I don't know what it is about. So if the league is serious about it, but league, let me say this. Make sure you take care of your former players. Make sure you take care of players who might have CTE and might be dealing with mental illness. Because it's the thing about collective bargaining agreement that I understand more now than ever. The current players have to look out for the former players or future players, because if you ain't taking care of the players that help build this league, I don't respect that. And this is coming from a person who understands that we just got to look out for everybody who had something to do with this league. But yeah, man, hopefully the league, Rychel Goodell makes so much money they don't even want to talk about no more. Rychel Goodell be making 50 and 60 and 70 million, and that's his business. He cool. He's the most hated and loved commissioner in pro sports. Like people know Roger Goodell. That year we had the pandemic, and he was on stage by himself, and people
now. I love Roger, but let's talk about another league owner because baseball owes this man an apology.
Yes,
baseball owes Trevor Bauer apology. Y'all castratize this man off of words. He's never been convicted of anything. You oust him out the league. He's sitting there playing in Mexico, playing in Japan, things of that nature. Trevor Bauer should be on a major league roster right now. And what the report that came out this week is now the woman that basically had him fired, ruined his reputation, things of that nature, now owes him $309K. That's nothing to sneeze at. The fact that she's been in and out of jail, that their whole her whole scheme is now blown up in her face. The now thing that needs to happen is the league needs to apologize, remove him from the ban list, and bring him back. He should be on a major league roster today.
Yes, and not only does the MLB owe him an apology, they owe him some money. They owe him a lot.
Yeah, if I'm his lawyer, I'm suing.
People say Trevor Bauer wasn't that good. All-Star in 2018, NL Cy Young Award 2020, All MLB First Team in 2020, NL ERA leader in 2020, Gold Spikes Award. Look, Trevor Bauer was publicly humiliated. Trevor Bauer had to stand in it. He's doing interviews on non-sports networks. He got to do damage control. And here's the thing. And let me say this. I am not a person that should not believe essay abusers and accusers. Like if somebody say they've been essayed, we got to hear them out. No one's saying these things don't happen. But when it is not true, we need to be the same towards Trevor Bauer, towards her. Because when you thought it was Trevor, people just pile on. Oh, another athlete using his fame, using his notoriety, using his celebrity, and that wasn't true. How wasn't it not true? This thing right here, right? Text messages, conversations, and listen, we are not experts talking about what happened with Trevor Bauer. But here's the thing, though. This man had to get kicked out of MLB for reputation, not because of how he plays. Had to go way across the water. I'm talking about way. To then be found innocent, that she got to pay him, because what the young lady didn't realize is, lady, when you go to court, you got to prove, no, you're accusing him. You got to prove your case. And it didn't happen that way. Trevor, look, man, I wish the best for you, man. I don't know what that does for you mentally, because listen, when this thing first happened, let me tell you what we really do. We take the actions of a player, male or female, in a pros college, and we put it on every player when these headlines. Oh, they're going. No, it's not another one. These things are individual, compartmentalized incidents. And Trevor Bauer, he got raked through the coal. It was bad. It was ugly. This young lady used this as a means to try to belittle him and give her fame. Well, sometimes, karma. It's gonna be served cold and 300. Because let me tell you something. Trevor Bauer is probably listen. Whoever interviewed him before, interview him again. Right. And just like me and Steven, the theme for this show is apologize when you're wrong. Yeah, some of us was dead wrong the way and they'll say my producer said you could have looked at this, and I'm not doing that. I'm not interviewing this man because I don't know. Wait till the facts come out. $390,000 is what she owes him. And I hope he gets every single dime. MLB,
because it was on the other foot. He was supposed to owe her $300K, and he never paid it. And when everything came out, now the whole thing's reversed, and now she owes him money. And listen,
I mean, listen. Here on the fan on the end, man. Listen, we call balls and strikes. We try to keep it right down the middle. We ain't here to try to make nobody look bad. Trevor Bauer, man, we wishing you nothing but the best, man. Whatever happened with you and your reputation and your children, if you got them, your wife, kid, or whatever, your family. Because what we don't realize is his whole family have to deal with this, not just him. And let me tell you something. As a person, that would never do anything like that, to be accused of something like that, and that is not true. Do you know what that do to you? People walk around thinking that's who you are and what you are. Man, don't. People, we only get one life, and one situation can dethrone the whole thing. This is why a lot of celebrity athletes don't want to be in the light. This is why they are so cautious and so, protective of their image and reputation, money. So, Trevor, man, I hope MLB, y'all need to do something, man, because y'all would have went out front. And don't give me that, well, we didn't really do this to him. You didn't help him either. You ain't try to help him. Y'all didn't do the whole, Dodgers and whomever. Y'all do right by this man. Do right. MLB, y'all trying to.
We hope he does that the major league does right. That his former team does right. I hope he goes through the right legal channels to get what was owed to him.
Yeah,
but we all need when it comes to stuff like this. And as you were saying, come at her with the same ferocity that you came at Trevor. But last few minutes here. Any last words before we give our parting shot here, my friend?
As always, Stephen, man, it's always a pleasure coming on with you on the Fan in the End. I think over here is we represent fans, we represent former players, current players, future players. I mean, we represent just our thought process when we come to this show is just to be able to have fun, man. We don't now listen. If you say something stupid, you will get called out on this show. And listen, we're not calling you stupid. We're calling the statement. So ain't nobody calling nobody dumb and idiots. But the statement was dumb, Chase. It's stupid. It's just dumb. And whatever, Chuck, whatever your name was, listen, if you're going to be dudes talking points, don't let Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, don't pick somebody else. You're going to pick a Super Bowl. You're going to pick a Super Bowl MVP.
I still think Craig Carton's one of the most idiotic freaking
Craig, yeah, that's his name.
He's doing MMA for a while. He's back to doing football again. He jumped on the bandwagon at the end of last year. Now you're back on the 49ers wagon. I don't know what's going on over there. Stop saying the silly stuff. Do your research, man. Like it's not that hard. If you're doing bulletin board type stuff, then just do your bulletin board type stuff. We now know that you're Mickey Mouse media. You're not a real journalist. You're not a real media member. You're just doing it for the clicks.
Yeah,
you just
didn't go to journalism school.
Well, we didn't go to journalism school. We just got common sense. And
we didn't either. But we don't claim to be. We are podcasts. We are sports media. We are media personalities. But we know stupid when we hear it. We know it. We don't got to go to school for that. And when you using Jalen Hurts and you using things like I wouldn't start a franchise with, but you would start it with Brock Purdy. I tell you who's nervous right now. The two most nervous people in football are John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Because it better work with Brock. Because if it don't,
oh man,
I
still think they got a little bit of a discount, but we'll see how the market plays out. But still paying that man that much money is insane. But another fun one in the book. We did get Luther back on here, having some fun with us. We're going to continue to have some great content here on the channel. Me and Ben over the next week and a half, we got a special pre-recorded interview that we're gonna do. You guys are gonna have to keep yourself locked in to make sure you know what's going on. It'll probably be airing in August, but take it, enjoy it, and we're gonna continue to do what we do. I'm Steve. He's Ben. This is another episode of The Fade in the End. We'll catch you guys in the rebound. Peace out, my friends.